Hey guys, my name is Dr. Irfan Qureshi, and I'm making this video for a guide for everybody to see what type of masks are out there. There's many different distinctions, N95, P100. We have no idea what that means, so I'm here to do a step-by-step guide to explain further on what type of masks are out there. So if you don't want to get scammed online, keep listening and keep watching. Okay, so I want to start off with the bottom, the lowest thing on the list is the house-made masks. These are the ones that CDC is telling you to wear whenever you go out in public if you don't have a regular mask. These are the ones that you see online with a cloth that they're telling you to fold and put around your ears. So what I want to let you guys know about that one is that what that prevents is respiratory droplets. So it does not prevent aerosolized stuff coming through the mask. So if you are wearing those in public, if you're going to the grocery store, please still maintain the 6 feet that the CDC is guiding you to do, because it doesn't prevent the aerosolized droplets, but the respiratory droplets it will prevent. So still maintain the 6 feet, and this is kind of the lowest tier of the masks in this list. Okay, so next up is a surgical mask. Now, in a normal time when there is no pandemic, these masks cost about 25 cents. This is the ones that you see surgeons wearing whenever they're performing surgery. And there's different colors of the mask. Basically, this is a yellow surgical mask, and this is a blue surgical mask. And what you do is, you put it around your ear here, and this becomes a surgical mask. So here we go. Now I have a surgical mask on. Now the problem with this one is, again, it doesn't prevent the aerosolized droplets. It does prevent the respiratory droplets, kind of like the cloth mask that CDC is telling you. This is just it's still preventing that, but it's not helping with the aerosolized stuff. So this is also something that you guys need to know about. Now guys, if you are looking for a surgical mask, I will put a link in the description. It's not affiliated. I'm not getting any money from it. It's just a place where I found that they still have surgical masks at a pretty decent price, and they're not ripping you off. So if you need a surgical mask, check the description and the link will be there. Now, the next one on our list is specifically for healthcare workers in a pandemic situation. So we need to conserve the stockpile that we have in the US for the healthcare workers, the people that are in the front line. So just be aware, this is for information for you to kind of understand what these different types of masks are. But these are reserved for not the general public, but the healthcare workers. So before we go into what these masks are, I want you to understand the designation or the lettering and the numbering of these different types of masks. So the masks, there's letters in front of the masks. You hear the N95, you hear the P95, all this stuff. So all that means is the N does not do any oil particles, okay? And then the R does do oil particles for about 8 hours, and the P does oil particles for, I think, about 40 hours is what they said. So for our general purposes, I think the N mask is just fine. I'm not sure where it stands with the oil particles, but basically this is more for like pesticides whenever they're spraying pesticide, and that becomes oil particles and they kind of float and they're aerosolized. So that's what those filtration systems are for. I think for our general purposes, N is good. Okay, now I want you to understand what the numbers actually mean. So there's the N95, N99, and there's also an N100. And each one of those letters that I told you, N, P, R, they also have their 95, 99, and 100 different types of masks. And all that means is the percentage of filtration that mask does. So N95 mask would filter 95% of particles, and N99 would filter 99% of the particles, and so on. So that's what that second number means. So here I have a N95 mask Usually it says it on there. I doubt you guys can see it, but it will tell us that it is an N95. And a lot of times it says the letters NIOSH. That is the agency that kind of controls and regulates a lot of these things. And CDC also has information on this on their website. I will also link that in the description for you guys to follow. And that has further information on everything that we're talking about. So this is what an N95 mask is. And so the main thing I wanted to show you guys is how to use it. I know a lot of people that have never worn an N95 are using it wrong. And so I kind of wanted to clear some of that. The biggest thing is whenever you're using if you have one of these N95s, is that you try not to touch the inside. Well, you make sure your hands are washed and you do the hand sanitizer before you put on a mask regardless. But what you want to do is you want to try to not to touch the inside where your mouth is going. And there's going to be two straps on this. So two straps. One of the straps goes on top of your head, and the other strap goes on the bottom. So I'm going to try to do this with the camera on. We'll see. Here we go. Got one on the top and then one on the bottom. Now, the biggest thing that people mistakenly do is think they're okay now. We're good. We're N95. I'm protected. Well, no, you're not. You haven't even secured the top part here. So there is a metal portion up here. Okay. And what you want to do is you want to press down on that metal portion to make sure it stays and kind of have a good separation of things coming in. So now that I have this up here and these are secure, now I can definitely feel that my airflow is a little bit more restricted. And you can also test by blowing out and seeing if any air comes out, or breathing in and seeing if any air comes in and out. You want it secure. You want it to be protected and the least amount of airflow as possible. And now this is how you put on an N95. So I will take that off. Another thing I want you to make sure you know is beard. So if you have a beard and you're wearing an N95, it's not going to work. There's still separation from your skin because of the hair on your face. So if you have a beard and you're wearing a N95, it's not going to work as well. So they do want you to shave before putting on an N95. Okay, the next one on the list is a P100. And no, I'm not talking about Tesla. I'm talking about the P100. The P designation, again, means that it does completely do oil particles. And the 100 means that's the percentage of particles that it filters. So it says 99.7, but I guess they just call it P100. Now this one is a little excessive for anyone to buy because this, an N95 will cover most healthcare workers, and the P100 is just something you don't need. All right, so the next one up on the list is the full face respirator. Now these are the ones that you see that have those big things on your face, and you see them in movies and scare some people. So don't buy this one. This is for people who are painters and people who are having difficulty with, breathing with a mask. Some of them come with the oxygen supply. This is not something anybody should be buying in this pandemic setting. So just don't do that. And the last one on the list is the self-contained breathing apparatus. These are used by firefighters whenever there's fires and there's no oxygen. That's the stuff that those guys need. And so we shouldn't even be talking about this to conserve time. And and the last thing I wanted to talk about was buying masks online. Do you know if they are valid? Are they legit? Are they fake? Are they a scam? So there are different websites that will tell you what manufacturer is producing legitimate ones and not legitimate ones. I'll try to link that in the description as well. I do want to tell you guys about the designation. So we know over here N95 is what everybody is using. In Europe, they have designations of different types of masks. They have their own system. So over there, they have masks that are called FFP1, 2, and 3. And so, again, these are like different designations. And FFP1 does 80%, FFP2 does like 90 something percent. So FFP2 is a bit similar to an N95 here. So if you are buying a mask and you look at something like this and you say, wow, I'm getting an N95 online and it's super cheap. Well, no, you're not, because this is not complementary to a N95. This says on there that it's a FFP1. Again, that does about 80% of filtration. So you want to look for a FFP2, which is the 90 something percent, 94%, I believe, which is equivalent to the N95 over here. So be careful on paying a lot of money for something like this, because, you know, this is not an N95. I'd like to thank you guys for sticking around and watching this video and trying to learn the different designations and classifications of masks. And hopefully you guys are not getting scammed out there. And now you guys are practicing safe measures and staying 6 feet away and social distancing and just waiting for further guidelines from the government. If you guys liked my video, please go ahead and like and subscribe so I can keep making further content that will be helpful and provide value to you guys. If you have any further ideas or questions or things you think I should make a video on, please go ahead and comment below and let me know what you want to see and what you want to hear about so I can make further content for you guys. So thanks.